Hey guys, hi everyone. We're going live here on YouTube and LinkedIn to talk about new freelance opportunities. So I'm kind of excited about this topic, really. So hopefully, you guys will also have questions. Feel free to ask anytime. I'll be able to feature some of the questions here on the video, and I can answer them. I'm actually in my daughter's room because I already got back from the office. It's 6 p.m. here in Slovakia, so I will kind of walk you guys through some of these principles and methods and the ways how we are helping fellow recruiters get more and better opportunities. Okay, so we will take it step by step, but feel free to let me know in the chat where you guys are today. What roles are you working on, if any, or if you are looking for a job, then let me know which country are you looking for a job, and then we can kind of follow up on this and see if there is anything I or my colleagues could help you with. I'll start the presentation in a few seconds or probably in a minute or two. There may be more of you guys who will connect, which is awesome. Just a quick reminder, we are going to talk about freelance opportunities in tech recruiting. Okay, so if you have been interested in becoming a tech recruiter, this could be a great fit. Whether you are in Croatia, like Mostafa, or in Slovakia, like myself, or in, I don't know, Germany, or in the United States, the principles we are going to talk about will work. So we can kind of slowly take it off the ground. Okay, so I'll change the slides and we'll go through them one by one. Okay, there are several ahead of us. I think this is the best time to become the international freelance tech recruiter, even if you have never worked in IT, even if you have never been recruiting IT professionals, because simply, it's never been easier to learn the IT terminology. And there are so many companies looking for professionals in the IT space, web developers or cloud engineers. We are going to talk about some of the roles that are in high demand, okay? Meanwhile, you can let me know in the chat what roles are you working on, if any. Let me know what you worked on before. What types of roles have you been recruiting, if any? Or if you are just transitioning, that's completely fine. Okay, so I'll quickly introduce myself. Okay, I will share with you guys the roadmap on how you can become the professional, confident freelance recruiter. There are about 15 steps that I identified while I was working with fellow recruiters, and we will see how my team and I could help. Mostafa mentioned in the chat that he's a senior recruiter interested in what we are going to discuss today. That's awesome. Cool. Right place, right time. Awesome. Cool. So if you would like to earn money, essentially you have two options. Okay, you can either get employed or you can start working as a freelancer. If you choose to get employed, you just go to job boards and you see that a lot of companies are hiring tech recruiters these days. Less than a year or 2 years ago, that's kind of true, right? Because 2 years ago, there was huge boom. Companies were hiring like crazy. Now they are still hiring, not as crazy as 2 years ago, but you can go to any job board and you will see that companies are looking for tech recruiters. Mustafa, you are a senior tech recruiter. If you are in the United States, you see the salaries offered for these roles. It's 100K plus easily. The other option would be to work as the independent freelance consultant. You can work either part-time or full-time, commission only for high-tech companies or for staffing agencies. So over the last 4 or 5 years, I've been working with independent freelance consultants, both part-time and full-time. Some people have a good job and they only want to work in the evenings. That's completely fine. Others want to transition fully to the freelance consulting. That's fine as well, right? Depends on what you kind of want. And if you follow this path, you would become the freelance recruiter. Well, then be earning this commission. About 20 to 25% of the candidate's salary. The salary is usually in IT over 50, 60, $70,000 or euros. So then the standard calculation is, let's say, 20% from the annual salary. And you see that that's quite a lot of money, right? I'm not saying it's easy to earn this, of course, but the calculation is pretty much the same around the world. 15 to 25% from the annual salary for each hired candidate. I see there are some questions, and that's awesome. I'll answer the questions later. Okay, so keep them coming, and I'll get to those questions. Okay, so if you would like to work as the freelance tech recruiter and you have direct clients who you work for directly, this is the amount of money you would be charging them for your professional recruiting services. Oh yeah, you always wanted to know freelance recruiters, what would they earn? Awesome, so you see it right there. Some clients pay even more, or for a hired candidate, it could be $20,000, $25,000, $30,000. The commissions for hired candidates are decent, generous. Of course, I'm not saying it's easy to get a candidate hired. It takes lots of effort, clear methodology, processes, tools. So it's not a quick win by any means, but it's doable. Of course, you can see, I mean, we made over 90 placements in the last 2 to 3 years, so totally doable. If you choose to work through a commission only network, as you can see on the right side, you would get about $3,000-5,000 in commissions, but you don't have to bother with marketing, with sales. You don't have to bother with social media posting. You don't have to bother with finances, accounting, legal, tax setup, and everything. You just focus on recruiting candidates. You submit candidates to these platforms, and that's it. It's quite cool as well, right? 3, 4, 5, 7,000. So despite the recent layoffs last year, there is still a huge talent shortage in the IT job market around the world. Still, in the United States, in Europe, companies need more and more IT professionals, but they cannot really find them quickly enough. Job boards don't work usually for senior IT professionals because they have lots of opportunities anyway, even without going to those job boards and applying to the roles on those job boards. So companies usually have to hire more and more talent sourcers, full cycle tech recruiters to headhunt those professionals. And that's actually a place for you also to shine, right? These technical recruiters, headhunters, are essentially scouting social media, GitHub, professional networks, and approach passive candidates either on LinkedIn or via email. Freelance, independent, commission-only recruiters could make even more money. We were interviewing recruiters and headhunters who make several placements per quarter, and each over $20,000-30,000 in commissions. So that's a lot of money, right? I'm not saying it's easy to get to that level, but there are headhunters who make a lot of money every month, or like on a clockwork. So those companies usually pay recruiters over $15,000 in success fees for each hired candidate. And you can have one, you can have two per month, probably three if you are good, even more if you have a very good talent pool and great clients to work for. And all of this usually while working remotely from the comfort of the home or a coffee shop, because you would be recruiting internationally for international clients, also international candidates. So the job is performed from wherever you are, as long as you have good internet connection. And with my colleagues, we filled over 90 roles for high-tech companies in the last 2 to 3 years. I didn't list all of them. With some of them, we had more placements per role, like with project engineers, for example, or product managers, or AWS cloud engineers, or C#.NET engineers. Like, you see a long list of different roles that we filled for our clients. And still, I was wondering how to get to the next level, what it takes to become really good in recruiting. How come some of the recruiters make 5 placements per month at 10, 20, $30,000 each, and some struggle every single month? So I went on to interview 30 senior recruiters, top billers, agency owners, to figure out how they actually do it. Razvan, for example, when I interviewed him, that was already like, I don't know, 2 years ago probably. He told me that he usually fills about 20 positions per year while he's working part time. He doesn't even want to work full time, 10, 12 hours a day. He could, but he doesn't want. He values his free time more than, one or two placements more. So the potential is huge. Or Thad, for example, from CTO Recruiter, he told me when I interviewed him in 2021 that he closed over 15 C-level vacancies in 2021, and his average commission was 30,000 per each hired candidate. So that's a lot of money, right? 15, it's one per month. It's not that many, one per month, but the commission is really huge. It's for a C-level executive, so 30,000. It's not above the market rate, and for a solopreneur, awesome job. And I interviewed more than 40 professionals who are agency owners or top billers or very senior freelance recruiters. So some of these insights that I'll be sharing regarding the freelance tech recruiter roadmap actually come from their experience and what they have been sharing with me. So this is the roadmap. We will go step by step in the next 15-20 minutes. I'll walk you through all of these steps. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat, and there will be a short Q&A in 20-30 minutes, so we can cover all of the questions at once. All right? You may also wonder, who am I to talk about IT recruitment here on LinkedIn? Who is this dude, you may wonder. So I've been in IT for over 18 years by now. I co-founded 3 companies. I'm leading an IT recruiting agency. With my colleagues, we also organize training for technical recruiters, for staffing agencies, some of the bigger ones as well, Manpower, Experis, Accenture. So I know a thing or two after I've been consulting for all of these staffing agencies. I recorded over 300 videos on YouTube, recorded podcasts and everything. So there is a lot that people have been sharing with me when it comes to their best practices, and I kind of captured what I learned from them. I recorded over 100 sourcing webinars for different roles, different search strategies. So this is actually the greatest library of search strategies for technical roles. I interviewed experts who I already mentioned, some of them. And with my colleagues, we filled those 90 IT roles for our clients. So there is a lot really that I went through over the last 3-4 years, and now you guys have the opportunity to actually learn from this experience and follow the advice of those who I've been working with and interviewed on the podcast. So yeah, anyway, let's dive deeper. I hope you guys are excited about what is coming, about the roadmap that will give you a clear path that you can execute. So the step number 1, which is kind of obvious when I say it, but a lot of people want to skip this part, is to get to know the IT terminology and IT roles. I've seen recruiters who want to jump to recruit DevOps engineers and cybersecurity specialists and AI machine learning engineers, but they don't know the basics when it comes to the IT world. And then it's obviously difficult, right? Once you start engaging with hiring managers, they will notice that you don't know much about IT and you don't understand the differences between those IT roles. So that's why I put extra effort in kind of explaining the different terminology, the IT stuff, the IT jargon, and keywords, acronyms. So that's usually the very first step. The step number 2 would be to go deeper, to choose your niche. I would even say micro niche. By micro niche, I mean a segment of the IT world, because the whole IT is way too broad. I mentioned we filled 90 different IT roles, and we were kind of jumping from one segment to another. It was not very efficient. If I were to start again, I would focus on one part of the IT world. So once you understand the overall IT world, then you dive deeper to one segment of it. The step number three then would focus on building your list, the list of hireable 500. These are the people who you will be working with as candidates. You will be promoting them, you will be placing them, you will be interacting with them, you will be learning from them. And this is very important. Gavin, for example, when I interviewed him, he said that in his niche, he only has 217 candidates, not more, not less. He knows all of them. All of those candidates know Gavin, and he has all the phone numbers, he has email addresses, he has their latest resumes. And if a client wants to hire one of the um, executives from his niche, he can quickly email them about the new opportunities. So that's the sweet spot. The step number four would be to rebrand your LinkedIn profile. There are countless of examples of recruiters who started specializing in one of the segments. You see on the left William, who focuses on Microsoft Dynamics, which is one sub-segment of the IT world, and Benjamin on the right, who focuses on Java developers in Berlin or Munich in Germany. And this is really awesome, because once they start focusing on this segment, they start noticing new patterns which they haven't noticed before. They start connecting with people. They start bringing more value on the market. Step number five is to create compelling content for the niche audience. Once you start focusing on, for example, cloud and DevOps, you start noticing some of the conferences that keep happening every now and then. For example, AWS organizes this reInvent conference. So you start producing content for those DevOps engineers or cloud engineers, or for hiring managers who focus on cloud and DevOps. So you start focusing on creating content which is compelling to your target audience, right? So it's like very advanced strategy eventually, but once you start executing on it, it's not difficult. It's actually easier. Step number six is to get your first client. This is something we help our members at the Academy with. Getting the first or next client is not a mystery. It's rather like a math, where you look at this problem from different angles. Like, how many people do I need to connect? What's the message that I will propose or send to them? And then how do I get their attention? Okay, so you need to provide value, build relationships, and position yourself as a trusted advisor. And once you tick these boxes, I'm not saying it's easy, but it's definitely doable, then you get clients who are interested in working with you because they see you as a trusted advisor, as a professional recruiting consultant. Step number seven is analyzing clients' job requirements properly, and then transposing them to be the job advertisement. I've seen several examples of recruiters and also staffing agencies, some of them smaller, some of them larger. They just take the job requirement from a client and they post it on their job board without very little thinking behind. Often they don't properly analyze the job requirement. Often they don't tweak it, they don't make it more appealing, and that's a missed opportunity. So also with people who are in our coaching program, we focus on like really thoroughly analyzing who the client is looking for, because you don't want to waste time looking for wrong candidates, right? You want to be clear about who to look for. So super important step. The next step, number 8, is to start finding candidates. And a lot of recruiters default to LinkedIn, which is kind of obvious because 90% of candidates are on LinkedIn anyway. But also there are other methods. For example, referrals or GitHub work for us quite well for certain positions. You can try Slack groups, you can try Facebook groups, you can try meetups, you can try getting emails of people based on their LinkedIn profiles. So there are lots of different strategies, and you would kind of consider different strategy based on each requirement. This is something we also do with colleagues who join the coaching program. It's this is actually not something where you just go through a course and then you magically know it. In this step, it's important to get someone's feedback, someone who has been there, done that, because you don't want to kind of make a wrong decision in this case, because you would waste days or weeks of looking for a candidate without any success. So step number 8, finding candidates on different channels. And then once you have them, once you get their attention, then you would need to pitch them the opportunity. And several recruiters who were on the podcast, they were saying how important it is to be able to pitch the opportunity properly, to be able to get their attention. And there are different ways how to achieve this. I created a nice mind map with a few follow-up slides and videos on how you can reposition each job description to be more appealing. And now we can even use ChatGPT and other generative AI tools to tweak the offer to make it more interesting for prospective candidates. For example, data engineers are interested in working with big data. So once you have a vacancy of a data engineer, then you would kind of think, how can I make this more appealing through mentioning the uh, size of the data the person would be processing. And that's actually the fun part. This is cool. This is fun part, really. Step number 10, once you get someone who is interested and excited, is to screen the candidate. So then how do you screen the candidate? Of course, I mean, we prepared templates for screening on different roles. You can ask questions to identify who is exactly a good fit. The questions should also relate to who the hiring manager is looking for, not just kind of any question, right? But questions that reveal who the manager is looking for in terms of who is a good fit, actually, right? You can see here, I zoom in a bit just so you can see on the right the highlights. And it continues. I was just not able to kind of show everything on this slide, but it's an important step to identify who is a good fit, because as a professional recruiter, your job is to provide value in the process. Your job is to find candidates who are better than those who the hiring manager is able to find himself. So that's why the screening process is super important. The next step is, once you have a good candidate, is to be able to sell the candidate to the client, because you don't want to just forward the CV and say like, hey, this dude is interested. No, you need to kind of think, okay, this is who the hiring manager is looking for. I have someone, so how do I make the candidate most appealing for the hiring manager? What do I need to mention in the report? What do I need to attach to the report? Can I attach some background check or reference check? Can I attach some test or some certification? Can I create some cover page or some additional report to explain what the candidate has been working on? And this is only possible if you understand the IT world and you know the space that you are operating in, the IT. Step number 12 is to increase your productivity, because once you start getting the ball rolling, you will notice that you need to speak with the hiring manager, you need to potentially onboard new clients, you need to start searching for candidates, you need to screen them. And then the question is, okay, how can I do more of this every day? So there are some steps on how to increase the productivity through typing speed or through keyboard shortcuts, improve your time management, plan your day a bit better. So in the e-learning portal at the Tech Recruitment Academy, there are several examples on how to identify what are your gaps when it comes to productivity and then fix them once and for all. Step number 13 would be to embrace AI tools. These days, there are AI tools for pretty much everything. You have AI tools for technical screening, for sourcing candidates. You have AI tools for automated messaging, automated emailing. You can use generative AI to help you create job description or text to post on social media. You can use AI to create images and graphics that would accompany your job promotion. So there is no excuse not to use these AI tools. Most of them are even for free. I mean, or they are for some little money as a monthly subscription. So just embrace this. There are so many different tools. Just last week, ChatGPT 4.0 was released, which means we can now interact with this tool just by talking to the chatbot. I mean, that's just unbelievable. Next time I'm running a LinkedIn Live with examples on how to use ChatGPT for role plays. So if you guys are interested, drop me a message here. So I see that this is something that you would like. Okay, step number 14 would be actually there is no step number 14. There are just 13 steps. So as you can see, the IT job market is booming with a strong demand for professionals with expertise in several areas. Okay, and these areas also come and go. It's not true that the whole IT is just kind of falling apart. There are some roles that are in higher demand, some roles are in lower demand. For example, front-end development was really hyped 2 years ago, and now it's not as hyped anymore. But there are some other areas that are hyped these days. You can see, for example, cloud specialists or cybersecurity specialists or AI and machine learning specialists or data engineers that are still in high demand. Okay, if you guys have been working on any of these roles, let me know in the comments. Okay, what IT role have you been working on? And we can plug you into our partner agencies where you can do business development, recruiting, and start earning money. Okay, and if you would like to get your own clients, you would be charging somewhere between 12 and 20,000 US dollars, or 10 to 15,000 euros for each hired candidate. So the opportunities are huge. I'm not saying it's easy, but that's why we are here, right? To help you realize the potential of these opportunities. The example with cloud specialists, for example, is Pipeline Jack. So we created an opportunity for recruiters who would like to start working with cloud specialists, with DevOps engineers, and would like to kind of get placements in this area. So you can join Pipeline Jack, which is an agency dedicated to DevOps and cloud. And we would help you get a candidate hired and earn commissions in only 3 months. This program actually guarantees that you will get a new candidate hired through a commission-only network or your direct client. This is something we've been working on for the last 4 or 5 years. We started with the training about 5 years ago, and we had different programs in place. The program that we started in 2024 is the most advanced version of what we do, what we provide. So if you would like to take a look at it, then I can actually share with you the website, and you can check it out. Where is it? Freelance. Hold a sec. I'll just paste you a link so you can check it out. I'll paste it here in the chat. Okay. Check it out. So the Freelance Tech Recruiter Partner Coaching Program consists of different steps or pillars, we could say, because first we would help you with the roadmap. Okay, so the roadmap provides you clarity on what to do next. I shared with you a very high-level roadmap, but of course we would need to prepare a roadmap customized for you based on your goals, based on your preferences, based on your knowledge gaps, based on what you actually want to do, right? If you want to focus on DevOps, then we will need to identify your knowledge gaps and help you fill them really quickly. You don't want to waste time. Second, you would use sales materials from one of our brands. And this is really important. You don't want to waste time creating new materials. You don't want to waste time producing some brochures, right? We already have it, we give it to you, and off you go, you use them. You would also use our proven processes and follow-ups and workflows to acquire new clients. Client acquisition is not easy. Lots of people burned their fingers or palms or the whole arms on client acquisition, and we would help you execute step by step. Step number 4 is access to our premium e-learning platform and curriculum, where you would learn business development, client outreach strategies, technical recruiting, and you would, of course, learn specific terminology from interviews with industry experts. This is super important because it's not just about my personal experience and what I have been able to achieve in IT and IT recruiting, but it's all about those 30 people who all have their own experience, and they were sharing how they would start their own agency, how they would get new clients, how they would make their first few placements. So the resources are priceless. And probably most importantly, you would get one-on-one coaching for 3 months to ensure you get a candidate hired. This is super cool. I mean, where else can you get someone who would be with you on Zoom, interacting with you, helping you, giving you feedback, giving you ideas, sharing with you materials? Like, this is super cool programs that we have developed. And further, you would get access to spreadsheets, databases, some of the software licenses that we are using, and of course, best practices. So if you guys would like to join this program, this is an unique opportunity. You would receive a roadmap, and this personal roadmap would also reflect your knowledge gaps, what you need to do, what you need to fill quickly. You would get, for example, events that you can join. You would get guides on how you can introduce yourselves to clients and candidates. So this is a priceless resource. Next, of course, very importantly, you would use our existing brand to get new clients, and you would still keep 85% of the commissions. The brand keeps 15% because of the support, ongoing accounting, financial support, sales materials, marketing materials, social media support, office administration, business support. So you don't have to bother with that, right? And you still keep 85% of all the commissions, and that's huge. The curriculum includes exactly what you need to know to become a professional tech recruiter. We developed the tech recruiter certification course for people who are transitioning from non-tech recruiting to IT recruiting. So this means that we will teach you the ins and outs of the IT recruiting process, starting with client acquisition through IT terminology, next the IT talent sourcing and screening, and of course working with hiring managers, because you want to make sure that you close those roles, right? So this is a great course that we have developed over the last 3 years. The mentoring and coaching is really priceless, especially if you would need some guidance, if just reading text is not enough to get results. So you will receive one-on-one coaching tailored to your specific needs. And this is awesome, especially if you need someone to talk to, if you don't want to be alone working from home. You would also include access, or you would get access to our networking group, to some of our licenses, to our community. And this is a great opportunity to get on calls with my colleagues, with my team, and get unstuck whenever you get stuck. Also, tools, software licenses are super important. The support that you would receive from my colleagues includes, for example, a WhatsApp group where you can ask questions, you can interact with my colleagues. If you get stuck, they will help you get unstuck. Yeah, so if you would like to get your own clients to work for, you would be earning the yellow kind of commissions. If you would like to work through a commission-only network, we are talking about lower commission, but of course, still reasonable. If you make 1 or 2 placements per month, that's a decent compensation, right? Isn't it? And you can see on this screenshot invoices where we have been really billing clients, 9, 10, 15, $20,000. So these numbers are not made up, but based on real experience. And we also don't have really the high-end commissions as some of the big brands out there. But also, you don't want to kind of go after 25 or 30% commission. First, you need to get clients, you need to get results, and then you can keep increasing commissions later down the line. So if you would like to join, then you can just go to the website, Tech Recruitment Academy, and find the partner coaching program. This program guarantees that you will make a placement. And the way we guarantee this is that you only pay 30% of the fee upfront, and the remaining 70% you pay later from the commissions you earn with our help through our partner organizations. So this is really an awesome deal. You know that you will not pay all the 10K without any result or guarantee. You only pay 30%. Once you cover the 30%, we work with you, we help you, because we know that in 2 months, in 3 months, we will earn a lot more money together. So that's why we are also motivated to work with you in the long run. Yeah. So if you would like to become a part of this and join other recruiters from the United States, from Canada, from Europe, who are now niching down, working on cloud and DevOps and security, then join the Tech Recruitment Academy. Choose the freelance partner coaching program, and I will see you inside the members area or during those one-on-one Zoom calls. If you would like to see some testimonials, we have plenty of them on the website. In the menu, just go to there is the third or fourth drop down. So just open the drop down, and you will see testimonials on the page. So open the page or sub page, and you will see from Rob, for example, the amount of support from Michal and his team is unparalleled. And that was 3-4 years ago already, so we've been doing this for quite some time. Petyo, for example, you better join the Tech Recruitment Academy. The people behind it, such an amazing experience. That was 2022. Mateusz, for example, from Poland, the knowledge will not fly away. The materials you receive and everything is just enormous. So, we have hundreds of these testimonials. So I'm just highlighting a few from Steven, for example, from the United States. It's great if you are a green recruiter, so a fresher with no experience, or if you already are senior as well. Mick, for example, from the Netherlands, who followed for 2 months the program. He was struggling, but then I helped him find multiple ways to source candidates in a very efficient way. So he also enjoyed the program and the results he got. Nalini, even from India, people from all around the world joined the coaching and training programs, from Japan, from the Philippines, from Vietnam, from Caribbean, from the United States, from Canada. And the reason behind it is that recruiting in IT is the same around the world. We use the same tools, we use the same methodology, we work with similar clients. Those clients are actually looking, in most cases, are looking for people to work remotely from either Europe or from Asia. So this is also a way for you to work remotely with those clients. Aya, such a great experience, 2023. So anyway, I'll not read all of these, of course. I could keep going for the next half an hour, but there are all of these questions in the chat. So I'll feature some of them. I'll just kind of run through some of these. Yeah, so you can see more testimonials on the website. Cool. So there was one of the questions. Where is it? Here. What are the main obstacles that Europeans recruiting in the US market generally face? The first obstacle is getting clients. So you need to think about your positioning towards those clients. Like, why should clients hire you to do recruiting, you need to have clarity, and that's what we do with the roadmap. For example, we look at where the person who is joining the coaching program is based, and based on that, we develop a strategy on what's the most efficient way to effectively get promoted in the marketplace, to be attractive for hiring managers. And second, the second obstacle that I would mention is actually attracting attracting candidates, because often candidates notice that the person who is approaching them is in, I don't know, Vietnam, or in, on the other side of the world, and they may be reluctant to accept the email or the connection request. So there are also a few strategies on how to overcome this challenge. One of the strategies is to have multiple LinkedIn accounts, which some of my colleagues also do. Some of them have 3, 4 accounts. So I mean, there are different ways how to overcome these obstacles. I'm just kind of sharing what those obstacles are for now. Cool. The next question was, I wanted to know how freelance recruiters receive payments from a technical standpoint. Well, usually they send an invoice to the client, and the client pays the invoice with a bank transfer. It may also depend on where you are. If you are in, I don't know, Honduras, and bank transfers are not possible, then you would need to look for alternative ways for international payments. But it could also be it's possible to use Wise Transfers, which is the company that provides those alternative payments. Revolut, for example, works quite well internationally. So this is the better problem to have, right? If you have a client, and if you get a candidate hired with a client, then you can always figure out how to get paid. It's, even if you set up an account in Europe remotely, and you get a virtual account, well, then you can always figure out how to get money. This is the better problem to have, really. Next question was, can you explain the process of it? Thanks for your contribution to the recruiting space. Awesome. Gosh, now I'm not 100% sure what process you are referring to, because yeah, I'm just kind of going through the question now after I finished the presentation. So if you could please rephrase the question now in the chat, and I'll respond. The next question was, what payment processor do you use? Stripe, Square, something else? Well, we use Stripe for the courses and training programs. When customers pay us for the mind maps or video courses, or kind of anything that we sell in terms of the digital products. But we do not use Stripe for client payments when we recruit for clients, because those amounts are usually higher, $10, $15, $20,000, and in that case, the fees from Stripe would be too high, and also the credit card payments would most likely not go through, because the bank would block a payment with a credit card of $15,000. So that's why the bank transfer usually works best for these large amounts. But again, as I mentioned, this is the better problem to have. If you are about to charge 15,000 your client, you'll figure it out, no worries. The next question was, the main obstacle is to have direct clients when freelancing. Okay, well, of course, this is difficult. I'm not saying it's easy by any means. This is why a lot of recruiters go out of business, partially also because they don't have any systematic process on getting clients. But that's also what we do, right? That's also what we help with. We have process in place, worksheets, materials. We have certain steps in place to help get clients, and we've been, in the business for a few years. So there is something we can share with you. Next question was, what are the methods for IT client acquisition? That's a good question. I mean, when I say what the methods are, you will kind of not be really surprised by the answer, because it's not like it's a magic, right? If I say, hey, it breaks down to either inbound or outbound, you probably know it, right? Inbound is marketing activities that you make, and outbound means you reach out to someone. Then obviously the question is, how do you do it? How do you achieve this? How do you create marketing strong enough on LinkedIn that you get inbound leads or referrals from one client and the other? And the second question is, how do you systematically do the outbound so that you get some reply, right? Because you can send 500 emails and not get any response, and that sucks. Okay, so that's something that we would need to dive deeper to. We do it, for our agency. We do it for our members of the coaching program. So if this is something you struggle with, then we can definitely discuss how you could join the program, and we would help you with that. How much is just for getting IT clients? I mean, the training for getting clients. The self-study training cost about $600, if I recall correctly, and maybe we can, come up with different ways how to plug some individual coaching on top of it. If you go to our website, you will probably notice some packages, or you can just email me or message me on LinkedIn, and we will figure it out. There is always, something that we could do for you. I'll send in the chat my LinkedIn URL profile, so you can reach out to me, and my colleague actually monitors the messages, so she will respond and probably come up with some solution for you. But I mean, coming back to the training, often it's not about the knowledge, right? Because if you ask ChatGPT, hey, what are the strategies to acquire clients, it will list you those strategies. These days, it's not about knowledge. We are transitioning from the age when knowledge was scarce and only few people knew how to do it. Now ChatGPT and everyone around the world can know it for free. The hard part is to have some consistent plan on how to execute it and have someone to do it with, because if you are trying to do it on your own, alone, you will be distracted. You will get bored after a week. You will be frustrated because you don't get any results. Like, we've seen with people who we are working with that it works much better if there are some accountability calls, if there is some accountability on WhatsApp, if they have someone to kind of report to, even though we are not their managers. It's just kind of we work together, but still they report us their results, and that pushes them to keep on doing, keep on hustling. So these are the strategies that work. It's not that much about knowledge, but more about the execution, how you do it systematically, how you follow up, follow through, and some of the tools that we have developed actually help exactly with the systematicity, if that's a word, to being systematic, and also follow through properly. So yeah, these are pretty much the questions from YouTube and LinkedIn. So thanks guys for being here with me. It's been awesome. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on LinkedIn, and I or my colleagues will respond. If you would like to join the freelance coaching program, then just go to the website, fill in the contact form, and we will take it from there. So I hope you found it useful, and if anything, let me know. See you guys soon. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you on LinkedIn or on Zoom. Cheers, guys.